social media post accused President Zelensky of prolonging war by not recognizing Crimea as Russian territory. Vice President Vance has said both sides will need to agree to give up territory as part of a peace plan. Russia seized Crimea in 2014. Zelensky's chief of staff reaffirming territorial integrity as a core principle during talks with a U.S. envoy in London today. A steady stream of mourners paying respects to Pope Francis now lying in state after a procession moving his coffin to St. Peter's Basilica earlier today.
It begins the official public mourning for Pope Francis, who died Monday at the age of 88. His coffin now placed in front of the altar of confession that rests over the bones of the first Pope, St. Peter. Some 20,000 people watched the procession from St. Peter's Square, afterwards waiting in long lines, some as much as 5 hours, to view the Pope's mortal remains.
Fox's Lauren Green in Rome. The Pope's funeral on Saturday will begin 9 days of mourning before the focus turns to the conclave, where cardinals will choose a new pope. America is listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She invited people to meet her and a young child. This afternoon, partly sunny, eventually expected to reach 80. It's 73 now on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. In New Albany, 36-year-old Christina McAdams is under arrest. Indiana State Police say she was trying to offer up a young child for sex trafficking through the Meet Me app, which is a video messaging service. What saved the child was a tip from the app to the National Centers for Missing and Exploited Children back in February. That's when the child was taken from her house, and she was finally arrested last week. The info just now coming out from state police.
Indiana students are preparing to be Indiana's workforce of the future. On public safety, our state police have increased drug intervention efforts and are seeing massive results.
That's Governor Braun from a video posted to X this morning talking about his first 100 days in office. The governor also says his administration has cracked down on waste, fraud, and abuse, especially as far as health care spending goes. Fentanyl could be in every drug, say police, after a child overdosed at an Indianapolis school. Ryan Hedrick has the advice the Indianapolis DEA is giving parents.
5 out of every 10 of the pills have a potential lethal dosage unit.
Mike Gannon heads the Indianapolis DEA office, which covers Evansville and Terre Haute.
Fentanyl could be added into a lot of different drugs. M30 Percocets, there's Adderall, there's Xanax, and they're the most commonly abused prescription pills.
Gannon says the best way to talk to your kids about drug abuse is to be real and honest with them. He says one fake pill with fentanyl can kill them.
The sword-wielding woman, originally from Indianapolis, arrested Monday after a chase that ended near Owensboro, Kentucky, has finally made it into a jail. Nina De Villas had been in the hospital after being shot by a Chandler police officer who initially pulled her over before she stole a police car. She's now in the lockup in Daviess County, Kentucky. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Kroger and Payless supermarkets.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Chris, this just came down. Crash on the west side, West 10th to the west of I-465. Inbound 65 slows from 29th Street to Meridian Penn. North side, eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies today, a warm one, and light winds. We'll get up to about 78 tonight. A few clouds mild with lows falling into the mid-50s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Okay, what I need right now, Hammer, is a little help from the Attorney General of Indiana, Mr. Todd Rokita, because we have some local, somewhat disturbing legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
I don't know that we have to get totally into the weeds in the story, but man, I think it requires it somewhat. Staffing crisis leading to a dismissal of a murder charge in Howard County. You sent me this last night. There's a couple people, a couple of other dignitaries on the text, as it were, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is going on? And so is the other person that was on the text.
This is unacceptable.
This is crazy.
Unacceptable from Howard County. So they're saying that a staffing crisis at the courthouse is why this trial was dropped for a guy that had been charged with murder. It was a cold case for a long time, but thanks to great police work, they were able to track down two different suspects. And one of them was a guy that was charged with the actual murder.
16 years.
Yeah.
Cold case. Family had to wait 16 years for any sort of justice or anything like that. And wow.
So this Indiana murder suspect from the Chad Rouse case has been released from custody after his trial was dismissed due to an ongoing staffing crisis and a busy courthouse schedule. It wasn't like you just had a bad jury or a woke judge or something like that where a bad decision was made in the court. They said they were too busy to handle a murder case. A reported staffing shortage inside the Howard County Prosecutor's Office and a team full of employees, quote, overburdened with pretrial motions, made it so that the case against this guy was ultimately dropped. Kevin Maddox, 48 years old, of Indianapolis. Now, let me go back just a little bit. This is what happened. In November of 2006, Kokomo police officers responded to calls of shots fired. They arrived at a house and they found 20-year-old Chad Rouse dead from a gunshot wound. A witness at the time told police that unknown men, plural, had entered the home with the intent of robbing it, but the deceased, who was still alive at the time, was home and a fight broke out. During the struggle, Rouse was reportedly shot in the back by Kevin Maddox. Now, he was on the run for a number of years. Fast forward to May of 2023. Over 16 years after the murder, a Howard County grand jury indicted these two in connection with the case, Maddox being the trigger man. He was charged with murder, robbery resulting in serious bodily injury, and conspiracy to commit robbery resulting in serious bodily injury.
Finally, some closure for the Rouse family.
His trial was scheduled to begin yesterday in front of Senior Judge William Menges. However, court records that anybody can look up from Howard County show that the hearing was canceled due to a dismissal judgment. Now, the dismissal document, which has been obtained by various members of the media, including Fox 59, CBS 4, among others, say that the state has decided to dismiss Maddox charges without prejudice, given that this document states that Maddox is now released from custody. So he murdered someone. Somebody lost their son. Somebody lost a brother, a loved one, in a cold-blooded murder.
He's charged with murder, but did not have the chance to go through the process of a jury trial because of we just don't get enough people to cover this. That's the way I'm reading this right now. That's the way you described it.
Right.
Did I accurately kind of sum up this?
That's it.
Debacle?
That's it.
Yeah.
What could be so overwhelming in Howard County that a murder case can't leapfrog a few things and get to the top of that stack? Now, one of the things that could be a possibility is a little mutiny going on inside the prosecutor's office up at Howard County. Sounds like the DA and the staff members may have a little disagreement there. That's what I'm being told. I don't know if that's true or not. If you're somebody that works in Howard County, please let me know. That's what I've heard. But still, I don't care how much you hate your boss. You can't just not show up to work or say that you're backlogged and let what very well could be a murderer go.
So hold on, the suspect, they got him on the lam for 16 years. Or at least it was a cold case for 16 years. Arrested in 2023 over charged with several different crimes, including murder. And today the trial was supposed to start.
Yesterday.
And look, we don't have enough people to cover this. So
you just rub his hair, get out of here, you little scamp.
Just wash my hands of it. And I don't understand anything about this case. I don't get it other than the fact that there something in Howard County is somebody's inept.
Right.
Something.
I put calls into Howard County. I know our news director, John Herrick, has put calls and phone calls into Howard County trying to get somebody to come on this program. And I think John, our news director, right before we went on the air, said he finally heard back and he might have information by tomorrow.
All right. Look, if I'm proven wrong, then look, we thought we had something on this guy. It turns out we didn't. We had to let him go. That's fine. But the reason we're getting right now, Hammer, is crazy. A staffing shortage results in the dismissal of a murder charge. Let's revisit this one. Let's come back to this one because I will gladly, if I can say to myself, oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay, now I get it. But that's not the way this article has been presented. That's not the way it's been reported so far. A staffing shortage resulting in the dismissal of a murder charge.
Right. Staffing situation. It wasn't that we found new evidence or there's been a delay in the trial, anything like that. It was listed as a staffing issue.
Can they just delay the trial until they get the staffing worked out instead of just letting the guy go? I mean,
what is at the top of the to-do list that doesn't takes priority over the murder trial of a cold case that you found
in Howard County?
Right. We're not talking like this is Indianapolis. This isn't Chicago. I mean, Howard County is a big place, but let's not get carried away here. What could be at the top of that to-do list that you can't get to a murder trial?
And what about the Rouse's family, Chad Rouse? This cold case, 16 years, don't know what happened to our son. And then they arrest this guy a couple of years ago. And then the day finally comes, the justice system is working its way through. And, oh, by the way, actually, we're going to go ahead and dismiss the charges to let this guy go because we just don't have enough people to cover this.
Yeah, there's something going on here. And the fact that they've not been real quick to get back to media requests, it's not a good look for what's happening up at Howard County.
We'll keep you updated.
Absolutely. Speaking of legal stuff, a man in Florida was arrested after he allegedly attacked an 11-year-old girl that he thought was throwing eggs at his apartment. Here is Maris. Maris Mutu claims that he was trying to take pictures of the girl to show the apartment manager, and we've got audio from the attack of this 11-year-old that he thought was throwing eggs.
I wasn't doing anything, I swear to God! I swear to God!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guarantee my daughter's 11. All right, I don't care if you thought she was throwing eggs at your apartment or not. You were, I put my hands around your neck and squeeze if I ever saw that happen. That is nuts.
All right.
That guy got arrested.
So, real quick, I know we got to hit a break here, but we got Guy Relford standing by the hotline. He heard our story about what's happening up at Howard County right now.
Gun guy?
Gun guy, yeah. Guy Relford, attorney. Guy, can you make sense of why a murder trial is basically put on the back burner and the guy's told to kick rocks because of staffing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened in this case, you guys, but I was listening to you as I always do, and I just wanted to offer a possible explanation, and I don't know if this applies or not, but there are what we call speedy trial requirements, and this is a constitutional requirement that somebody get tried within a certain amount of time, and that can be affected by whether they're in custody or whether they've been released. But particularly when they're still in custody, they have to be tried within a certain amount of time, or they need to either be released from custody, and if certain time restrictions aren't met, the case actually needs to be dismissed. Wow. So if the staffing situation in Howard County is such that they were simply incapable of trying a particular defendant within the time frame specified for speedy trials and in custody speedy trials, the Constitution and its guarantee of a speedy trial actually requires the release and or dismissal of that case. So that, I'm guessing, is what's going on. And I don't know exactly the specifics. Right. I just wanted to offer that perspective to you guys since I'm part of the team there at WIBC.
That's a double whammy. That is really so. Okay, I understand. Speedy trial. We got to let you out until we can get our crap together and get you back in here for a jury trial. But you're saying not only possibly was this due to the fact that he had a right to a speedy trial, but there's laws that let him go, that allow the charges to be dismissed. Is that right?
And that literally comes right out of the Constitution that says, wow, if you're accused of a crime in this country, you not only get to confront the witnesses against you, and have the assistance of legal counsel, et cetera, but you're entitled to a speedy trial. And even if you're not in custody, there are still time limitations on when you have to be tried, or else that case is dismissed. And those are constitutional protections, and that's why prosecuting staffs have to be capable of meeting those deadlines. Otherwise, they can see, guilty people potentially walk out the door.
Guy, last thing here before we let you go. Got about a minute left. You have been involved in a bunch of trials. Nigel and I have never been involved in trials. I've only been involved as a juror before. But is it normal for a murder case to stay behind a bunch of other things on the to-do list? It feels like in a place like Howard County, they might try to rearrange things to get a heinous crime of a murder accomplished before a long litany of speeding tickets and whatnot.
Yeah, in counties like Marion County, Jason, where they have different cases assigned to different courts depending on their priority and the severity of the crime. That's one thing. But in a smaller county like Howard County, they just kind of have to come up when they come up in the order they're filed. And yes, I mean, prosecutors can have the option of going to the court saying, we've got to get this one set earlier. We got to get this one within the speedy trial requirements. But in a smaller county, that can be a lot harder for them to juggle. And I get that they can say, I'm not saying this is an excuse. I'm saying I get that in a county like that, they can say, look, we just didn't have the capability staffing-wise to get this case ready, and that's why the speedy trial requirements under the Constitution require this guy to be cut loose.
Guy, we appreciate you taking the time, my man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love you guys, and I always want to weigh in when I can.
You got it. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on, my man?
Inbound 65, stop and go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn, delayed by 4 minutes already. Northbound 465 at 86th Street, we have a semi broken down on northbound 465 at 86th Street. Okay, also the left shoulder and the right shoulder both covered here, so we do have a crash. Inbound 69 slows 96 to 82nd Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Beautiful day. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful day. 77 and sunshine at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up just after 4 o'clock, the governor of the state of Indiana, Mike Braun, will be in studio with us. We've got about 15 minutes with the governor here. So if you're wanting some long 1 hour roast of the governor, we're probably not going to be able to provide that for you, but we will get to as many questions that you care about as possible when he joins us in here at 4:06. Also, Tony Kennett from the Daily Signal a little bit later on. But up next, we've got a fun, big announcement. We're excited for this. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel here, always using American Standard Heating and Air dealers. I use their equipment. I use their dealers. Here's Hammer to tell you about one of those local independent American Standard dealers in Indy.
Stand up and make some noise for Stevenson Heating and Cooling. Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your American Standard dealer for Johnson and Morgan County. Owner Richard Stevenson has over 30 years experience, loves to be in the field out there working with the customers. A married veteran with 3 daughters, Richard and his staff will treat your house like their house. Fair and honest service, which is why they're successful. They get referrals, and this is how they have grown Stevenson Heating and Cooling into what it is today. So contact them today, 317-557-8532. That's 317-557-8532. Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Hendricks County.
I'm IndyCar driver Graham Rahal, and you're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Shut up and drive.
Yeah, our Tales from the Track party we're throwing with Graham Rahal, IndyCar driver, is sold out. I wanted to mention that because we still have contests. We still have tickets that you can sign up to win at WIBC.com, and we still have some fantastic sponsors, Hammer,
yes,
to help make this happen.
Relay Indiana, they are the presenting sponsor. They've been the sponsor of this event for a number of years. And again, longtime friends of WIBC, friends of the Hammer and Nigel show, Relay Indiana, and our pals at Jack Daniels. They love the way our audience drinks at previous events and said, you know what? Sign us up for this event too. So thank you to Jack Daniels as well. And listen, this event is sold out now, but you can win tickets at the contest page. But it's a victory lap, if we can here real quick, Nige. If you're somebody listening right now, let's think about advertising with the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you delaying? Okay? We sell out everything we do. Whether it's the bowling event, we've sold out every one. Whether it's the Tales from the Tracks event, we sold out every one. We have packed the few bars that we've been sent out to, whether it's been in Shelbyville, Coach's Tavern, you name it. Our bourbon sold out in like 2 days. A much larger, big stock load of tequila from Hiatus sold out in 2 weeks. To quote Bon Jovi, we've seen a million faces and we've rocked them all. So why are you not advertising with WIBC and specifically
the Hammer and Nigel show?
Thank you.
We get results, baby.
Right. Talk to some of our clients. Talk to Brett Glaze over at Hiatus. Talk to Spencer down at Thompson Furniture and Mattress there. See the results they get from the most passionate, loyal group of listeners that radio has to offer. So if you want to advertise with us, you want to see results, you want to sponsor the events we do where you see some money on the back end, my God, reach out to us. What are you waiting for? Email hammerandnigel@WIBC.com. We will get you in charge of the right people. Were you able to watch that illegal stream that I sent you last night,
I know you
Nige?
sent it to me, man. You sent me the illegal stream because I couldn't get the Pacers and the Bucks. I couldn't make it happen. It looks like I missed kind of a close game.
Pacers were putting it on them most of the night,
and then
but
the Bucks
Milwaukee
came
made
back.
a run. They made a run like they always do.
I'm looking forward to Friday. I'm looking forward to a Friday night game 3 in Milwaukee.
Pacers win last night, 123-115.
Plus 4.5, by the way.
They cover.
Pacers underdog. Friday.
Oh, Friday.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about Friday. Yeah, underdog.
Milwaukee's tough at home. They're going to feed off their crowd. But, man, Fieldhouse was jumping last night. Halliburton had 21 points, 12 assists. Siakam, 24 points, 11 rebounds. And there was a little bad blood. We got Halliburton and Dame Lillard woofing at each other again. That mouthy little mouse Dame Lillard. Here is Tyrese Halliburton in the postgame talking about his little encounter with Lillard and the rivalry of the Pacers and Bucks.
We don't have to sit here and act like, it's any secret. We don't like them. They don't like us. And that's just what it is. And I think they live for this. We live for this. So, I could care less. I'm out here just trying to help my team win games. So there's got to be a little bit back and forth. There's got to be a little back and forth. But I'm here to win.
Yeah, some hard fouls last night. A couple technical fouls again. I think this may be the most real rivalry in the NBA. Like, Because the Celtics and Lakers is historic, right? But if those guys met in the parking lot, they probably exchanged jerseys and signed autographs. The Pacers and Bucks met in the parking lot, there's going to be a fight.
It was brawl.
These guys don't like each other. But again, go back to that crowd last night. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle talking about the atmosphere.
The building was as loud as I've ever heard it. And, you know,
wow.
I've been in here for the finals games in 2000 and a lot of conference finals games, and it's never been louder than it was tonight. So
whoa,
a big thank you to our fans, because that really helps us.
And that was game 2.
Yeah. These fans hate Milwaukee. They can't stand these Bucks.
Wow.
But you know what? It's going to be fiery when they go into Milwaukee this Friday night.
Nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field. And my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO, AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The first 100 days. Partly sunny in central Indiana. You could see 80 this afternoon, but not yet. It's 74 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
And we've kicked off our Make Indiana Healthy Again initiative with 9 executive orders to help Hoosiers live longer, healthier lives.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun in a video posted to X this morning about his first 100 days in office. Of course, the governor is saying what all he believes he has accomplished. He also says his administration is doing a better job keeping kids away from drugs and is doing a lot to keep waste, fraud, and abuse from happening. He's in a bind. Some would say he's behind, and he may be willing to make a deal with China. Fox Business's Grady Trimble at the White House.
The Wall Street Journal is adding more speculation, reporting that the Trump administration is considering slashing tariffs on China by as much as half. But President Trump made an unexpected appearance out here on the North Lawn this morning, and he was asked if that's something that he's considering, cutting tariffs on goods coming from China while these negotiations are taking place. But he wouldn't answer that question directly, instead saying that talks are happening with China and that they're going well. And White House officials seem to be throwing cold water on this reporting from the Journal, saying if the U.S. were to lower tariffs, it would have to come in concert with negotiations and discussions with China.
Just 2 hours west, sentencing begins in Illinois for the Highland Park parade shooter. Fox's Jeff Manasso reports.
Robert Cremo III not in court in Waukegan by choice. The Lake County judge reminding the court that Cremo is aware that he will be sentenced either way for the murders of 7 people and injury of dozens more when he opened fire on a 4th of July parade in Highland Park in 2022. He pled guilty last month, sparing victims' families from a painful trial. Cremo's sentencing that includes victim impact statements is expected to take days. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with flowers, hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Right now, Chris, on the northwest side, Pike Township. This is a crash on northbound 65 at West 71st Street. And right now, the left shoulder is blocked, slowing traffic down for about a half a mile. Inbound 65 slow roll 29th at 2 Meridian Penn, and eastbound 73-minute delay Harding into the south split. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Right now, B-Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services plus 18 months. No interest or payments. Trust local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly clear Wednesday night is ahead with lows in the mid-50s. Then we could have our warmest day of 2025 on Thursday with highs in the low 80s. Spotty showers cannot be ruled out Thursday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, you go back to last year, September. You remember all the damage North Carolina endured. The town of Chimney Rock devastated by Hurricane Helene. Remember this, Hammer?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's multiple hurricanes in multiple weeks. But North Carolina town, just one of many examples. 2,000 Pennsylvania Amish volunteers have been rebuilding the town of Chimney Rock after Helene demolished this area. Let me repeat that. 2,000 Pennsylvania Amish volunteers have been rebuilding this town.
That's awesome. I love this so much. And you know what? It's a shame what our government does to our own country. We've got congressional members flying down to El Salvador to do everything but bend over backwards for MS-13 gang members. But we've got people here in America, whether it's Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina, parts of California from the fires. Hawaii, a number of years ago, devastated by fires. Some of these places are having a hard time picking up the pieces. This is the one thing this country does not do well. And this is with Donald Trump as president and with Joe Biden as the president.
He's talking about federal government helping out its citizens.
Right.
I think
making us a priority over trips to other countries.
They don't do that well, but what this country does well in and of itself is the 2,000 Pennsylvania Amish volunteers rebuilding the town. That Americans helping Americans.
And if they're doing it, I guarantee it's going to be awesome work because they're not there for a photo op. They're there to do work. So God bless those folks, man. And again, don't forget, like when hurricanes go through Florida, just because it's not in the news cycle after 3 or 4 days doesn't mean that everything's fine down there. There are still parts of Florida that are recovering from various hurricanes in previous years. But at least a state like Florida is well prepared to handle that type of thing. Like Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, they got hurricane force winds that were knocking over roads. There are parts of Tennessee that are just now building roads back where people can drive on from that storm.
I mean, I just got back from spring break in St. Pete. We stayed at the Don Cesar, a big pink hotel. It had only been open, Hammer, for less than 5 days when we got there. Just think of when the hurricanes hit in September and October up until and they were still rebuilding. They were in rebuilding mode. Half the hotel was not even livable, or they were still, which for us, we still had the other half of the hotel. The pool was nice. We didn't have a lot of people, but they are still in serious rebuilding mode down in Florida.
And it's not just the Pennsylvania Amish. I mean, that's the news story that's out now. They're volunteers from all over the country.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Our pal Rick Snyder, president of Fraternal Order of Police, he went down and checked on a family that had lost so many loved ones in that storm. And the stories of faith, the stories of God, the stories of survival, it's something special. And I just wish this country did a better job of helping these people. If you want to get rid of FEMA, that's great. I'm actually in favor of that. But give more money to the states, let the states handle this, and make sure they are well trained to fix things like this when it gets sideways. Make that happen. Give these folks the funding. Like, where's Doge at, right? You're supposed to be finding all of these discounts and cut programs, and yes, we have to pay off the deficit. But if it means helping out people who need help in this country, by God, I'd rather have the money go there than Ukraine or, the Gaza Strip or anything like that.
Didn't I read, speaking of Doge, isn't Elon kind of stepping away from that whole thing?
Which is what he said from the beginning. He basically said, I'm here for about 120 days, give or take. Well, we're closing in on that deadline now. And he's almost going to be just going back to being Tesla billionaire media mogul, Elon Musk. Said he's still going to help Donald Trump with the Doge program from time to time, maybe a couple days a week, or, his phone's always on, but he will be stepping away from full-on Doge government stuff here in a couple days. And I'm fine with that.
Stock taking a little bit of a dive. Still in the green here today. Stock market looking okay, but yeah, I would imagine maybe there's some Tesla employees. I wonder if there's employees in Tesla that are like, damn, man, the boss is coming back.
No more substitute teachers. Crazy spaceman is back. And this time he's even cockier than before. He's been hanging out with Trump.
Right.
Man, this is wild. A flight taking off from England had to be diverted when a passenger started freaking out about snakes that were slithering around the plane.
But Samuel Jackson.
The problem is, Nige, there were no actual snakes on the plane.
Oh, no.
It was just somebody that was, quote, under the influence.
No fly list.
The plane did land safely in Portugal. Here is an eyewitness on that flight.
I have had it with these snakes on this plane.
That's an eyewitness that was on that flight.
Wow, very descriptive.
Now, if we're going to play that soundbite from Snakes on a Plane, can you just let me play the TV edit? Like when they play Snakes on a Plane on TBS or TNT, they don't just bleep out the words or, cut it or make it go soft. Sometimes they edit in new dialogue. This is what it sounds like when you watch Snakes on a Plane edited for television.
Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Samuel L. Jackson actually had to go back into the movie studio, into the recording booth to put that down on tape.
Yes.
That was not like some AI. They didn't put that together with a computer.
No.
Was it monkey fighting snakes?
Yes, monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Beautiful.
Now, that's not the only movie they do. Great moments in TV edits. Here's Scarface.
This town like a great big chicken just waiting to be plucked.
This town is like a great big chicken waiting to be plucked.
That's not what he says.
No. One of your favorite films, Nige?
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
When you find a stranger in the Alps. Now, if you watch that movie, that's not what they say.
Well, that's not what they say, but like it looks like the lips are kind of similar, like the lip syncing.
Right.
I understand why they chose those words. They make no sense whatsoever.
None. But if you sign a contract where it states you get royalties moving forward, if you want to get a cut of the sales or when it plays on basic cable, you need to come in here and put down some basic cable lines like the actors had to do in the movie The Usual Suspects.
Hand me the keys, you fairy godmother.
Number 2, step forward.
Give me the freaking keys, you fairy godmother.
Knock it off. Get back.
I've never heard that before. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've never heard that before.
Give me The Usual Suspects one more time.
Hand me the keys, you fairy godmother.
Number 2, step forward.
Give me the freaking keys, you fairy godmother.
Stephen Baldwin.
Knock it off. Get back.
Great moments
Incredible.
in TV edits.
Bravo.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Employee pricing. That's right. At Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, you can get employee pricing across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay on F-150s, on Super Duties, Explorers, all of them with employee pricing. And if you need something a little smaller but still want to be able to haul the crew and cargo around, the Edge is the perfect choice for you. And you'll definitely enjoy the excellent fuel economy. Plus, it's loaded with safety features. Get more to your door with Andy Moore Ford. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to you. And if you need to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Andy Moore Ford will pay top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Employee pricing on all your favorite Fords are at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com. Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
More tariffs later, tornadoes possible.
WIBC.com gives you more than just headlines. It's context, updates, and insight. Whether you're at work, on the move, or catching up late, the latest is already there. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC.com.
Hey, Matt Bear, what's up?
Northbound 465, we have a mess here after 86th Street. Right lane is blocked and the left shoulder blocked because of a crash. I see a vehicle off in a ditch right now off the right shoulder. Traffic is stop and go. 279th Street. Now northbound 65, Pike Township northwest side, northbound 65 at 71st. That's a crash blocking the left shoulder, causing stop and go traffic back to the 465 interchange. Eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road, and inbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home. To BWindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
78 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Oh, it's okay. Hey, coming up here in just a few minutes, the governor will be in studio with us. Governor
He's
Mike
out
Braun.
there waiting on us right now. I actually had to tell the governor, can you please wait out here? We're making the governor wait right now. It's not our fault. I feel like
Governor, we had to do TV edits, so if you wouldn't mind just sitting for a few more minutes, we're going to get to you. But he'll join us in studio in just a few minutes. Nige, there are videos online of people in Walmart freaking out because of the anti-theft locks are now on meat.
How do you do that?
Some locations have been doing, I guess, for a while in the, I would guess, higher crime areas. Here's one shopper's reaction to seeing steaks and beef and hamburger all locked up.
Baby, this one you know is bad. When they put miniature gates so you don't steal, baby, they meats. Oh, girl, this got to be bad, Lord Jesus.
People are stealing the meats and they've got to lock it up now. Good Lord.
Do you have to have somebody come out with like a set of keys on a giant steel ring to unlock the meat?
Is like one of those big plastic things that
like are on top of liquor bottles?
Yeah. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I've never seen meat locked up before. I've seen like condoms locked up before.
I've seen deodorant locked up before.
I've seen personal never mind.
We sound like the crows in Dumbo. I seen condoms locked up. I be done seeing about everything till I see my meat locked up. The crows in Dumbo, ladies and gentlemen. Which brings us to great moments in Walmart history.
Great reference.
Thank you. When you got big ears, you know your big ear movies. Here is a woman deciding to quit her gig at Walmart over the PA.
Attention Walmart shoppers and associates. My name is Beth from Electronics. I've been working at Walmart for almost 5 years, and I can say that everyone here is overworked and underpaid. We're told that we're replaceable. This company treats their elderly associates like To Jared, our store manager, you're a pervert. Greta and Kathy, I hope you don't speak to your families the way you speak to us. Manage it and this job, I quit.
Wow.
Why do I have a feeling hearing that is like looking into the future of how Allison's going to go out here?
No kidding.
Hammer, you're a pervert. Nigel, you suck.
Let's hope.
Allison, out. Here is a little celebration of the wine section of your favorite Walmart.
Drink wine without breaking the bank. Introducing Walmart Wines. Wines created for the unsophisticated palate. Uncork the Chateau Trailer Double Wide or Nasty Spumani. Pour a glass of Big Red Gulp. Sip on some Chef Boyardee. Enjoy the Pinot Noir, Pabst Blue Nun, or the Merlot Rider. The Walmart Wine Collection. Walmart wines that just about anyone can afford.
Nothing says lovin' like a little wine from the Walmart. Look, I'll drink some Walmart wine. I'm not above
Nothing
it.
wrong with that.
We've got Jethro T. Boots in our back office right now. I don't know where you find this bottle at, Nige, but I feel like it's something Cousin Eddie would bring to the holidays.
$8 a bottle, CVS.
We have a little pep session every once in a while in the back office, right? And in the last couple of weeks, I brought in Jameson, Woodford Reserve, and Nigel's responded by bringing in Jethro T. Boots.
That doesn't give a bud nut above $9.
Solid. We'll drink it. The governor, next.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swingco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swingco 317-407-1868 or swingcollc.com.
Good times are always in stock at Crown Liquors and have been since 1989. For a limited time, get throwback pricing. Svedka vodka half gallons are only $9.99. Basil Hayden bourbon only $29.99. Jack Daniel's 750s only $17.99. Premium Don Julio Reposado only $39.99. And Kendall Jackson Chardonnay only $10.99. Pick up ice cold 12 packs of Corona Modelo Family only $17.99. Huge savings on top sellers at Crown Liquors.
G&V here from Miss M's. The greenhouse is filled with great spring color and tropical plants. Miss M's Home and Garden is your one-stop shop this spring for all things home and garden. Hanging baskets, bedding flats, tropicals, vegetables, herbs, herbaceous perennials, trees, shrubs, home decor, patio furniture, and more. If you need it for your home or landscape, Miss M's has it. Now is the time to get your home beautified for all summer. Miss M's is located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. MissM'sHomeandGarden.com.
This is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the nation's largest family law firm, but we're more than just size. We're part of your community. With offices across the country, our attorneys and staff live and work right where you do. And because we're local, we know your courts, your laws, and your legal community. When divorce puts your future on the line, you need a firm that's both powerful and personal. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
On China and tariffs. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House says tariffs on Chinese imports could come down, but not without a trade deal first.
The U.S. will not lower tariffs on Chinese goods unilaterally, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says, arguing the 145% rate is giving President Trump leverage.
Many on both sides of the aisle have pledged to do what's right for the American worker and our manufacturing industry, but this is the first president to actually use the leverage of the United States to bring people to the table.
Leavitt says more than a dozen nations have submitted written proposals for new trade agreements. China is not among them.
Have some patience and you will see.
Tariffs on most other trading partners are paused through the next 3 months.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president earlier today describing talks with China as active. The U.S. Treasury Secretary offering some reassurance that America first does not mean America alone. Also stopping short of calling for the U.S. to withdraw from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund during a speech to the Institute of International Finance. The Dow up 419 points at the bell, but that is well off session highs after a morning rally cooled, the Dow finishing back under 40K. An Army training base commander is suspended in Wisconsin.
Colonel Shayla Baez Ramirez is temporarily relieved of her duties as garrison commander at Fort McCoy. The Pentagon posted on X images of the pictures of President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth turned to the wall, as well as images of the photos displayed correctly. With those photos was a caption saying, "We fixed it." It has not been said who is responsible for turning the photos around. Colonel Baez Ramirez's suspension is also said to not be the result of any misconduct.
Fox's Gernal Scott. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The first 100 days. It's getting a little bit warmer. 77 right now. The expected high this afternoon is 80 degrees. Nothing on radar. Partly sunny. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Sometimes a politician or a public servant is measured for the first time by how well they do after 3 months and some odd days.
And we've kicked off our Make Indiana Healthy Again initiative with 9 executive orders to help Hoosiers live longer, healthier lives.
Governor Braun making his case on X this morning. He also says he believes his administration is doing well with trying to keep kids away from drugs and with preventing waste, fraud, and abuse of tax dollars. Sex education in Indiana schools. Your child will be taught the importance of getting permission from the other person.
When instruction on sex education, that we add back the importance of teaching consent to sexual activity. It must be age appropriate when taught.
State Representative Michelle Davis, as the revised version of the bill was passed in the House this afternoon, which also includes a requirement that parents get notification when sex ed will be taught. Christina McAdams' current place of residence is the Floyd County Jail. She's been locked up there on charges she was offering a child for sex on the Meet Me messaging app. State police say they got a tip from the National Centers for Missing and Exploited Children about that in February. Got a look at her data and then cell phone, removed the child, forwarded all of that to the prosecutor, who had a warrant issued for her arrest last week. Drivers sticking to 55 miles per hour on I-465 around Indianapolis aren't the only ones thinking it's time for a change. Ryan Hedrick reports.
And political leaders agree. That's why they've passed a bill to bump the speed limit up to 65 miles an hour. The idea is to match the limit of how fast you're actually really driving and reduce crashes caused by big differences in speed. NDOT is now working on how to roll out the change safely with help from the Federal Highway Administration. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
All right, Chris, on the northwest side, northbound 465 after 86 vehicle fire, blocking the right lane. Stop and go traffic back to 79th. And also in the Pike crash, northbound 65 at 71st, left shoulder closed. Traffic backed up to the 465 ramps. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly clear Wednesday night is ahead with lows in the mid-50s. Then we could have our warmest day of 2025 on Thursday with highs in the low 80s. Spotty showers cannot be ruled out Thursday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special in-studio guest.
He is the governor of the great state of Indiana, Governor Mike Braun. Kind enough to join us in studio as he's been doing every month so far this year.
100 days.
100 days. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We got a lot of stuff to get to in a very short period of time here, so it's going to be a little rapid fire. So be honest with us. 100%. You have to hear the criticism about the property tax situation. What we hear from our audience is, we took the day off of work, we went to the State House, we chanted your name, Braun, Braun. You rolled up your sleeve, you said fight. You came on our program and said, if you don't like it, you would veto the bill. It seems like that didn't happen. What's your response to all of that?
So the interesting dynamic at play here is when I traveled campaigning, I heard it a lot. Told you that when I came on the show. In the rally, we heard it. The issue was the legislators weren't hearing it. So when they said it was going to be the number one issue with Senate Bill 1, and then delayed actually even doing anything with it for about a month or so, that got you into early, mid-February. And then remember, they moved it into the House, and all that was left of the original plan was help for veterans and over 65. So none of that was there. So that was a message in the way
2021 back to 2021.
Exactly. And in legislative speak, that meant that you were starting from scratch in terms of what you were going to end up with. Then remember, it went eventually over to the House, and they started plussing it up, but until a little over a week ago, or when it actually, that weekend before it passed, we were still bargaining on if that thing didn't improve and there wasn't.
When you say plussing it up like 7%?
Yeah, they took the 7.5%. Yeah. That wasn't good enough. Yeah. Plus, remember, they had a $200 cap on it. And in those last few days, that got up to $300 on the cap and a 10% credit, which you get every year, by the way, and it's stackable with the credit that's going to help over 65 and veterans. So for them, that is real relief. So if you then got to look at, well, what do you end up with? And the process was hard. We bargained to it. And remember, the governor can't introduce a bill onto the floor. Even if you veto it, it's overridden with a simple majority.
Did you consider vetoing it, though? Because from what I hear from our audience was, at least look like you're fighting for us. You didn't veto the bill. Seems like our audience doesn't like the bill.
Not when it got up to $1.3 billion worth of real savings. Farmers got helped in it. Small businesses got immensely helped when you raised the de minimis on property taxes. So it was then a question of process. Did you want to go back and start from scratch, or do you bank the win? And all I can tell you, last night I was at one of the largest Lincoln Day dinners in our state. And you know who I got complaints from? Local government and school board type folks. The people that...
But to be fair, they do that all the time.
They do. And the lesson here learned is that when we take this back up again, this is not the end of the discussion.
Okay.
This is the beginning of what we had to patch together when it looked like we could have walked away with nothing. In those last few days, there was serious discussion that got it to where it was. And when you look at the merits of it, not to mention the fact that beginning with next year, the deduction or exemption starts to go up from roughly in the 40 to 50% range to 66%. And then there's already discussion of maybe taking that and adding to it as whatever page 2 will be on it. So,
do you think your voters knew that at the beginning, though? Because I think this whole 4-year plan that Lieutenant Governor Beckwith told us when he came in studio, I guess there was a 4-year plan that we had not heard anything about. I think people expected 2021 levels, fight, and then next thing you know, we're hearing, well, this is a baby step. I think that caught him off guard.
The 4-year reference mostly was that it took Mitch Daniels 4 years to get his done. There was never a discussion about a 4-year plan other than once you were dealing with the realities of what you had to work with. I would have vetoed it had it been the SB 1 bill as the Senate modified it. A special session may not have done anything, you don't know. But then, rather than have nothing, we plussed it up to a place where, to me, it was worth the minimum amount to get it across the finish line. We got it done in 3.5 months. It took Mitch Daniels 4 years, and the goal is to work on it now year after year to where we get the homestead side of it to where many people don't want any property tax. And we've broken the mold, started the pace on getting there, and if we want to do it, it's going to take all the people that were passionate about it showing up at your local school board meetings and your local government meetings to raise the cry of wanting more, needing more there, because you can't count on the legislature and the governor to keep fixing it each year. And if we do want to get more, it's going to take that type of input as well.
I know we're running out of time, but a couple more things left on property taxes before we move on to the budget. And I know you've got a big press conference coming up here in just a little bit about that. With going to these school board meetings and local government meetings, the conservative voter is always like, I go to work. I take my kids out. We're not the protest people. We're not the people that show up and yell. We showed up one time at the Indiana State House, and it seems like all it did was piss off the people we elected. Governor, I've heard from people inside the State House that day that the big tax rally, all it did was tick off a lot of the people that have an R next to their name. They were upset we were there. So do you understand why a lot of our voters are like, you know what? I don't want to hear that. We elect these people. We've got lives to live. We can't be professional protesters like the left can.
Think about the net result. It got by with 2 votes. That's how slim it was in the Senate. So focus on your legislators, get them hearing some irritation from their own taxpayers, and we got outmaneuvered to some extent by the lobbyists and the local officials that raised a louder din than we were able to do. But we got a victory. We're not ending with it, and the goal would be, a lot of people want to see it disappear completely.
Well, now you have my attention because
and the
a $200 cap, 10% savings to some people, $300 cap,
$150 and $250 with those other two for elderly and
I understand the farmers and the elderly, but like guys like me, guys like the average every middle class. I mean that $200 savings per year, Governor. I'm underwhelmed with that.
No, and I agree, but what we did get. Then you got to look at, are you even going to get them doing something with you? We wouldn't have accomplished it in a special session. And now they know that this was done. We'll get more, and we'll start articulating that out of the gate here. We'll have to be careful because we'll need them to hear it, because when we do it the next time, it'll probably be done through increasing that exemption from 66% to where it's 100%. And then all of a sudden, you're not paying any property taxes on your residence. And that is something you could maybe filter in over time, but we'll have to prepare for it, and we'll need to make sure that the legislators hear it and are on board with it.
Governor, we got about a minute left. State budget issues. We were told that you got to find $2 billion in the next couple of years to make this right. A couple of years ago, there was this big surplus. How much work do you have to do with this? And I'll ask it for the YouTube chat. Is legal weed on the table for the state of Indiana?
Without divulging, and you'll hear in a few minutes, I don't think that's going to be on the table. What you're going to see is what I talked about early on, leaning up state government, where I was asking them all to do 5% less on their own particular budgets. That's exactly the percentage that we had to come up with. So you're going to find expense accounts kind of across the board, and other things that will get us that $1 billion. A lot of it may not even be needed if the forecast that was based mostly on Bidenomics and inflation and some of the wrestling on tariffs that have got the forecasters confused on what the forecast is actually going to be. It may not be that bleak, and then it may not be needed, but you got to craft a budget that deals with the reality of your current forecast. All I can tell you is in 08 and 09, when we had to find 5% in our own business to try to lean up, we generally went to 10, and it can be found. Government's got a lot more slop in it than most businesses do. So we'll be okay. We'll get through it. All the critical things I think will be intact, and it'll be a good start on leaning up government in general.
I know you got to run to a press conference, but thank you for joining us in studio.
Yeah.
Your predecessor refused to come in studio. City leaders sometimes don't come in. You came in here. You answered our questions. We appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Matt Bears in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Northbound 65 Pike Township crash at 71st on the left shoulder. Stop traffic back to 465. Also in Pike Township. The other one, northbound 465, after 86th Street, that is a crash blocking the right lane. We're jammed. 279th inbound 65 delayed 7 minutes. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 78-minute delay from Belmont to the South Split. East side southbound 465 slow from 72 Washington, and south side slow in pockets on eastbound 465. It's Man Road to Emerson. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Service. Is water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, The design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Boer Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. That's BoerRemodeling.com.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's our us.
At Hendricks, our cancer care
is in the details.
When you are with us, and you have our time and you have our energy.
We have a wonderful team of highly trained oncologists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, dietitians.
Always making sure that the patient is the center of the care.
We have excellent nurse navigation that are skilled at identifying barriers to treatment,
as well as expertise from Mayo Clinic.
It is more personal care than just a number.
Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer in Hendricks County.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
news. Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hit
Woo.
me.
Man, a lot of stuff going on. Is this anything? A radio station in San Francisco on Earth Day played 24 straight hours of nature sounds to celebrate.
How San Francisco of them.
Here's a little sample of actual audio that radio station KALW was playing for 24 hours on Earth Day.
This is the radio. Is this all you need to do? This is what you need to do to make money at a San Francisco radio station? Stick a microphone out the back door, and there's your programming. That's how I think it's kind of scary. Wow.
I know for a fact that's not San Francisco. I didn't hear a bum pooping. Oh, yeah, San Francisco, of course. Of course.
No, this is nothing. They did, like, step outside your back door if you live in the woods, go to a national park or something, instead of listening to it on the radio. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Don't give B105 any ideas. They go all Christmas in December. Earth Day next year. Here comes 24 hours of butterflies and screeching eagles, baby. Is this anything? Two sisters gave an eyewitness account after a carjacker caused a deadly crash in Australia yesterday. And the interview is all over social media because they're identical twins who speak in unison. This is crazy. Here's the interview with Bridget and Paula.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum. He went up there and he was coming back down towards us. And he goes, run, he's got a gun. and our heart started to pound. And I said, oh, Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there. But apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help.
There's a lot going on there, Nige.
Yeah, that's something. That's why, like, identical twins are weird. Like, what identical twins have you encountered in, like, your high school or junior high years that were kind of odd? Something off with them at all?
The only identical twins I knew were in high school. They were actually normal dudes. They were like wrestlers on the wrestling team. They were both big, buff dudes.
Yeah, I'll take that back. I know Brian and Ryan. They're really normal guys, but they don't speak in unison. These women, you would think if you just heard it, these were maybe, I don't know, 15, 16-year-olds. These were like 55-year-old women which makes it even more strange. I take back the thing I said about identical twins, because I know a couple different sets of identical twins that are relatively normal, especially Brian and Ryan. So sorry, guys, I didn't mean to enter, but there are some that are just kind of strange,
like the ones in the movie Coming to America. This is the first date we've been on since the doctor separated us. When they're out at the club with Akeem.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty funny. These women are in their 50s. Why are you talking like that? Just because you look like each other and you're twins doesn't mean you have to talk at the same time.
Anybody that's an identical twin out there, I think the question on everybody's mind, did you ever hook up with the other one's boyfriend or girlfriend?
Oh, no.
Did you ever pull the old switcheroo just to mix it up once in a while? Be honest. Hit us up at Hammer and Nigel. An Australian bride in her wedding gown was going to cast a fishing line not to sea while she was being photographed. What? She was doing some sort of fishing photo shoot wearing a wedding gown, but then she reeled in a shark, and it was on. Here's what happened, courtesy of the video. Go, Michaela!
Look at my big shark!
Okay. Yeah, I don't. This is something I've never heard of, people getting in, right before their wedding, casting out a line to fish and having a shark bite on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a strange, like, hey, honey, before we get married, let's get our wedding pictures out by the lake, go fishing.
Yeah, maybe that's how they met, though. Maybe it's personal to them. But all I'm saying is be prepared to wheel in a shark if you got the wedding dress on. It's not every day you hook jaws. You got to bring them in. I don't care if you're wearing a wedding dress, prom dress, whatever. You hook a shark, you got to bring it in, right?
Well, they did. They posed with the shark, but they tossed it back out. I'm just saying it's a strange way to, like we stood out by the church at our wedding and just had everybody kind of pose, and there was nothing fancy to it. I'm not saying posing with a giant piece of bait on a hook and dangling it out in front of the Dundee beach isn't romantic and sentimental. But
that's what people say when I wear a Speedo on the beach, actually, Nigel. It's a little insensitive.
Okay. Boy, I thought Galaxy Concrete Coatings did an incredible job with the coating on my garage floor. I had them back out to do a coating on my basement utility room. That place in my basement, that utility room was scary, and the concrete was stained and dirty and cracked. They came in within a day, had it looking like brand new, 4 times as strong, lifetime warranty. And whether it's a garage, a basement, a pool deck, any indoor-outdoor area concrete, Galaxy Concrete Coatings has your back. They did mine with my garage and my utility room. Check out their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When he doesn't like it, he trolls it. Now 78 on Monument Circle. No rain on radar and no rain expected this afternoon. Next rain chance is Friday. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Russian recognition of Crimea is part of what the Trump administration is proposing to end the war in Ukraine. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from D.C.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is rejecting any condition that gives up Crimea to Russia, sparking a strong rebuke from President Trump, who accused Ukraine's leader of prolonging the killing field.
Unfortunately, President Zelensky has been trying to litigate this peace negotiation in the press, and that's unacceptable to the president.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump is not threatening to walk away from the peace process today.
But the president has maintained that his frustration is growing and he needs to see this thing come to an end.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio did not attend the summit with Ukrainian and European leaders this week in London. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News. news.
A sex ed bill passed in the Indiana House this afternoon, revised to make certain that consent is taught in grades 4 through 12. In New Albany, 37-year-old Christina McAdams is being accused of offering a child for sex on the Meet Me app, turned into state police in February and arrested finally after all the info was investigated by the Floyd County prosecutor. It's being reported that a Maryland mother was found dead after possibly being killed by an illegal immigrant. Fox's Griff Jenkins.
Another mother in Maryland allegedly slain at the hands of another illegal alien. This time, 23-year-old Lesbia Ramirez Guerra. Authorities say her body was discovered in a heavily wooded area. ICE arresting Guerra's boyfriend, Kisi Barrera Rosa, an illegal alien from Guatemala, now charged with her murder, along with his uncle, Rolvin Barrera, charged with accessory after the fact, also an illegal Guatemalan alien. ICE's Baltimore office saying this, quote, "The arrest of these two individuals marks a significant step towards justice. This heinous crime not only devastated a community, but also reinforced the urgent need to prioritize public safety by identifying, arresting, and removing egregious illegal aliens who threaten our neighborhoods."
Traffic and weather coming up.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Chris, we're having trouble, struggling big time in Pike Township. Northbound 465 after 86th Street, semi-fire. And cleanup is in progress with the right lane closed. Traffic is jammed from 86th Street past 79th. And then also in Pike, northbound 65, crash at West 71st Street on the left shoulder. Again, a semi involved for the 65. Stop and go traffic back to the 465 interchange, a 4-minute delay. Inbound at 65, 7-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, 13-minute delay. Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly clear Wednesday night is ahead with lows in the mid-50s. Then we could have our warmest day of 2025 on Thursday with highs in the low 80s. Spotty showers cannot be ruled out Thursday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So, Hammer, you have been paying attention a little bit more than I have of the response to our interview with Governor Braun, who was in here for about 15 minutes at the beginning of the hour.
A little less than that. We had airtime of 4:06 to 4:15.
Yeah, so are we getting killed on the, not that I care, on the YouTube chat or on the X notifications?
No, it's a lot of people not buying what the governor had to say. Like, they just weren't buying his excuses, blaming it on somebody else.
Talking about the property tax relief bill that he signed. Right. I just wanted to make sure that he knew. The only thing I wanted to say to him as a constituent, as somebody that voted for him, is that I was completely underwhelmed by the result of that. And you know what he said? He said, I was too. But then he signed it. Somebody pointed out on Twitter that he signed it. And it's just, I guess it's not over. Did you get that feeling?
Well, he said it's not, but
this whole thing is not over.
But knowing who the leaders are at the Indiana General Assembly, they do not want you to have property tax relief. And this is a true story. Inside baseball here, a source that I trust very much told myself and someone else here that the day we had that big property tax rally, I was the MC of it. Casey and Kendall, their show, put it on. This was Rob's brainchild, right?
Sure.
1,000 people showed up. They took off work. They were loud. They were proud. They were respectful. The lawmakers at the General Assembly that day, Rod Bray, Todd Houston, all these butt sniffers that have an R next to their name, were very upset we were there. And from what I've been told, they told the governor, don't you dare do that again. How dare you show up at that rally? You're making all of us look bad.
Yeah, who's the boss?
Well,
Okay.
that's the question, right?
I mean,
but that's what they think of
Somebody give me Tony Danza up in here.
And honestly, I still wanted the governor to know, hey, the people that had your back, the people that were chanting your name and fight, they feel like they've been betrayed. So, we only had a limited amount of time here. I know everybody wanted us to, you didn't say this, you didn't say that. YouTube and the Twitter comments, half of them are, great job, you brought the heat, you did what you had to do. And then there's always the, Rob Kendall would do it better. Tony Katz would do it better. Steve Simpson, who got fired for having low ratings 10 years ago, would have done it better. Like those people. So it is what it is. I mean, it's okay. It's fine.
Didn't have Steve Simpson taking shrapnel on my bingo card for this segment.
Oh, man. The old captain of the USS low ratings.
Okay. So we did what we were able to do within the constraints of the time frame. I wanted to, because there's some press conference right now.
But he's on screen. We're watching it on Wish TV, so he wasn't lying to us.
He's like, I got to get down there for this state budget thing. I got to get down there. I wanted to say to him, dude, you're the governor. They can wait for you. Okay?
Axl Rose makes people wait for an hour when Guns N' Roses goes on play.
2 hours, governor. You don't have to, because they were trying to finesse us a little bit. Like, we got to get out of here at 4:10 instead of 4:15. And we're like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't give us any time. And to Governor Braun's credit, he's like, I can stay until we told you to.
Right.
And again, you're the governor. They can wait for you. Okay, dude?
Right.
All right, bro.
But I see that butt sniffer Rod Bray on TV right now. If you put your ear up to the radio, you might be able to hear Abdul unzipping his pants. He loves Rod Bray.
Jeez.
He is Mr. Establishment. He is big business.
Oh, my God.
Abdul has put a tweet out talking about how he looks like Tom Cruise before. So, listen, I love Abdul. We have differences of opinion. I've made fun of him for that before, so it's not like I'm saying anything new here.
Well, I might disagree with that. I don't think I've heard the unzipping of the pants comment before, but maybe I'll have to go back and listen to this.
Oh, my God, he looks like Tom Cruise. Bzz. I mean, you find an establishment person, you're going to find Abdul somewhere. And you know what? That's okay. We can have differences of opinion because we're grown-ass adults, and that's what adults do.
It's okay.
Nobody's trying to cancel anybody. Nobody's trying to fight. But, that's just the difference right now. You might want property tax relief, but as long as those establishment goons are in charge over at the State House, Rod Bray, Todd Houston, no good rotten scumbags like that Baldwin cat, you're not going to get it. Some of these dudes have financial interest in screwing you over.
So, but at one point the governor was talking about no property tax in the future. Does that hold any water with you?
Well, it does. Don't get me wrong. I would love that. I'm excited for that. But I was also excited about 2021 rollback.
Oh, yeah.
You saw where that got us. You were so right, Nige. It was underwhelming. If there was one word to describe this whole property tax back and forth, underwhelming. And still, I don't know if there's ever been a 4-year plan. What I heard from the lieutenant governor when he was here sitting in that same chair to the governor today, Is there or is there not a 4-year plan? And honestly, we didn't have enough time. I mean, we could have talked about a lot of stuff. We had a hard out, as it's known as in the radio business, at 4:15 because he had to walk over to the State House, which he's on television right now. But we wanted to get into more of property tax. I wanted to get more into the budget. Like, how do you go from having this big surplus to, oh, by the way, we got to find $2 billion. Now, yes, we can screw over the smokers. Maybe we can screw over the gaming industry a little bit. But where else? Where else? If you're looking for legal weed, I don't think that's going to happen for you, at least not now. I know you're tired of hearing this, but it's just like what we had to deal with Sunday alcohol sales. Be patient. Be patient. Momentum is growing. But, man, you got to feel like if it's not now, when you have to find $2 billion and all of our neighboring states are doing it, when's it going to be? Is it going to be when they decriminalize it at a federal level? I know Trump's not against that, but there'll be a big fight for it here in Indiana.
But that's always been the excuse for this state. At the federal level, it's still like a Schedule 1 or whatever they call it. At the federal level, you can't, there's banking laws and things like that. But somehow the states surrounding us and several others in this country figured it out.
And this is why I love the YouTube chat. All the things we've been talking about, Brad writes, props to Allison for the Reliant K bumper music. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Reliant K.
Reliant
Back
K
in the day,
bumper music. But yeah, there's a press conference going on right now. State leaders highlighting this new budget. The governor's there. Rod Bray's there. I'm sure he's probably upset that we're doing our jobs here today. But we elect these people. And I say this all the time. We, as a collective, maybe not you, maybe not me, but as a collective, we keep sending these same people back to the State House. And then you're wondering, well, how come my property taxes haven't been lowered? How come I keep getting the shaft?
It's not a priority for them.
Right. As long as their donor buddies, their school board buddies, and their local government / lobbyist buddies are in cahoots with them, you have to do the only thing you can, and that's vote them out of power. You have to elect somebody that's uncorruptible. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making it one right now. You've got to find somebody that can't be corrupted.
By the way, just to give you some context for the, like, you know, when we're talking about legalizing weed in this state, we couldn't buy beer on Sundays until March 4th, 2018. I thought it was a lot longer ago than that. I think that's probably around the time you and I started this show. Or maybe it was 2017. But anyway, March 4th, 2018, convenience stores, grocers, liquor stores permitted to sell alcohol from noon to 8 p.m.
And that bill's still not perfect because gas stations can't sell it cold. Like, it's the most back-ass, Indiana Southern bullcrap law. And the excuse we got, remember, because we spoke to lawmakers right when we first got on the air, the excuse we got why gas stations can't have cold beer, like, served in, like, a freezer, out-of-control teens.
Out-of-control teens.
Out-of-control teenagers will be causing a ruckus in the aisles of the liquor store trying to steal the cold beer. Now, the warm beer, that's fine. Have a party, steal it, ice it down, and drink it later. But if it's cold, oh, my God, look out. It's going to be like Coachella.
Boy. And just so you know, they still screwed it up because you got to prepare for the month of May. You got to prepare for Indy 500.
Right.
You can't buy what until noon on Sundays.
But they do make special exemptions, right?
Oh, whatever.
Indy 500, when the Super Bowl was here, they made an exemption. So they're just making crap up.
Isn't that funny how that works? Let's just make it up as we go along.
Might as well call them the COVID task force. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Tim and Becky in Bargersville know that Mark Deedle is the local real estate expert. They tried the big national instant offer route when trying to sell their house. They got jerked around, company canceled. That's when they called Mark Deedle to step in. His team delivered big. They had multiple offers in 4 days, sold the house as is for the price they needed.
And what separates Mark Deedle from the competition is the guarantee. Why would you work with somebody else when you get this guarantee from Mark Deedle? Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. All you have to do is get a hold of Mark Deedle. He'll answer any question you have, 317-755-4232, or go online, markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well water or city water, C&J gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, and no more taste or odor issues. Thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Better water starts today with C&J. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now at C&J's well water bundles and city water bundles. C&J for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
The most extraordinary thing a woman can do is let herself be human. We try to do it all, sure, but what if we're just not feeling it? Like when the fatigue hits, but you gotta bring snacks to the soccer game? Or when the laundry's piling up, but that hot flash says, too bad. We get it. Franciscan Health has care for extraordinary women who can do it all, but don't have to. Visit franciscanhealth.org/OBGYN today.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Now that spring is here, storms can happen at any time. WIBC will alert you to severe weather from the Chapman Heating Storm Desk. For all your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drains, call the man for all seasons. Chapman. Go to chapmanheating.com.
Yo, Matt Bear, what's happening?
You, Hammer, looking at northbound 465 on the northwest side. Crash clear at 86. Still slow 279th. Also in the Pine, crash cleanup continues on northbound 65 at West 71st Street. It's on the left shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic back to West 56th Street at a delay time of 7 minutes. Southbound 65, stop-and-go traffic before the dog leg, and then we grind down again before 86th Street. Have some rubbernecking going on with that crash in the other side of the interstate. Inbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, MLK to Meridian, 7-minute delay. Eastbound 70, 13-minute delay. That's Tibbs into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, beautiful sunshine and 78 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Do us a favor, jump over to the WIBC YouTube page. Give us a like right there. We need about 25 more people to give us a thumbs up. That gets us to $100. But you can also jump in the chat. And the chat's been dominated by the appearance of the governor on our program a little bit earlier. If you missed it, we'll replay that later on, and Allison will get that up as a podcast a little bit later on. Try to get through as much stuff as we could, but give us a thumbs up, give us a like, WIBC's YouTube channel. All right, Nigel, I know you and I have talked about this before. If you are a first responder, is trying to rescue a pet part of the job? Is like risking your life for somebody's cat or dog or rabbit? Is that worth it? Is that part of the job?
Hop in the YouTube chat at Hammer and Nigel on X. I seriously want to know this because firefighters, this was in Raleigh, rescued a puppy that got stuck 15 feet down the storm drain on Saturday, like a storm drain. One of them had to rappel down into the drain. The dog is back home with its owner, but I mean, it's still a dangerous job. Here's a little bit of the audio. Like if you're a firefighter and you think there's a chance, man, I ain't coming back out of that if I try to go rescue that puppy. Is that part of the gig?
Like when we see these big harsh winters and lakes freeze, right?
Yes.
Somebody's dog or even some wildlife, like we've seen deer or whatever fall through the ice. Is that part of a, rescue worker's job is to go out there to try to rescue somebody's dog?
But what are you going to do if like the dog owner is like standing there right next to you and the dog's 15 feet down the storm drain and he's looking at, are you going to go? Are you going or what? And then the firefighter has to look back at you and shrug his shoulders. I mean, I got plans tonight with the kids. If it was your grandma, yeah, I'd be down there in a second.
Right. Like the recent flooding that we had pictures of like
I don't know though,
dogs and cats and all their critters.
Sure.
They're getting washed away.
I know.
Like if you're a first responder, is that part of the gig? Seriously, I don't know. Like what do you do in that situation? You look over and there's a young child seeing his dog go down like the river, single tear coming down his face. Or is that too dangerous? And you're like, man, dog should have been inside. I don't know what to tell you, kid. At Hammer and Nigel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube chat. 25 more people. Give us a like. That gets us to $100.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cybersecurity must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call taxes 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
Good times are always in stock at Crown Liquors and have been since 1989. For a limited time, get throwback pricing. Svedka vodka half gallons are only $9.99. Jack Daniel's 750s only $17.99. Don Julio Reposado only $39.99. Josh Seller's Cab only $12.99. And Mayomi Pinot Noir only $15.99. Pick up ice cold 12 packs of 16-ounce Bud Miller Coors Family only $14.99. Huge savings on top sellers at Crown Liquors.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61.95, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Tariffs. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. 12 states are now challenging the president's authority to impose tariffs, arguing that authority belongs to Congress. This after a federal court rejected a similar challenge from small businesses earlier this week. The president telling reporters earlier today countries want to make trade deals.
And now we're going to be making money with everyone, and everyone's going to be happy, but we're no longer going to be the country that's ripped off by every country in the world.
The White House says more than a dozen countries have submitted written proposals for new trade agreements and that China is not one of them, though the president says he remains optimistic about getting a fair trade deal with China. Ukraine is pushing back on part of a Trump administration proposal to end the war in Ukraine.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is rejecting any condition that gives up Crimea to Russia, sparking a strong rebuke from President Trump, who accused Ukraine's leader of prolonging the killing field.
Unfortunately, President Zelensky has been trying to litigate this peace negotiation in the press, and that's unacceptable to the president.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump is not threatening to walk away from the peace process today.
But the president has maintained that his frustration is growing and he needs to see this thing come to an end.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio did not attend the summit with Ukrainian and European leaders this week in London.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president's Ukraine on envoy is in London, describing talks with Zelensky's chief of staff as positive. The number 2 Senate Democrat will not run again. Minority Whip Dick Durbin calling it a tough decision.
I truly love the job of being United States Senator. But in my heart, I know it's time to pass the torch.
Durbin confirming he won't seek a 6th term. He's now the 4th Democrat to announce plans to retire after the 2026 midterms. America is listening to Fox News.
Military 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the kids are taught in school about sex. Clouds have built back in this afternoon, but you're looking at a mostly clear night tonight with the next chance for rain likely Thursday night and Friday. It's 77 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Sex education for Indiana students in grades 4 through 12 will be a little different if a bill passed by the House today is signed into law. First, teachers will be required to teach the importance of getting consent.
Also, before the teaching of sex education, the parent receives 2 written notifications.
Representative Michelle Davis presenting the revised version of the bill. Consent had been taken out but was added back. The purpose of the bill is transparency, and the curricula will be required to be posted online.
This is not the end of the discussion.
Governor Mike Braun talking the property tax bill on the Hammer and Nigel show, for which he's taken a lot of heat, with people saying what got passed wasn't enough.
Okay. This is the beginning of what we had to patch together when it looked like we could have walked away with nothing.
A murder suspect has been let out of jail in Howard County. John Herrick explains.
Kevin Maddox of Indianapolis was charged with murder in the death of Chad Rouse, who was killed in 2006. The trial against Maddox was dismissed on Tuesday because of staffing shortages and an overburdened team facing the Howard County Prosecutor's Office. Amber Brigham was also facing criminal charges in the case. Both Brigham and Maddox have been released from custody. All the prosecutor's office will say is that the staffing crisis is both significant and ongoing. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The replacement of the Rod Bush VA Medical Center in Indy is still a possibility, despite reports to the contrary, says Senator Jim Banks, who visited the facility today. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You love spring in Indy, but you hate to paint, so do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
The house that Rhino Shield did for my husband and I, after having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Indy, you too can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Chris, still cleaning up this crash in Pike Township. It's northbound 65 at West 71st Street. And it is on the left shoulder, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Lafayette Road. Inbound at 65, 8-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, 13-minute delay, Tibbs Avenue into the South Split End. Inbound 69, backed up from 82nd to 106th Street. That is a 6-minute delay. On the south side, pockets of slow. Eastbound 465, Man Road over to I-65. Crash downtown, 16th west of MLK. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly clear Wednesday night is ahead with lows in the mid-50s. Then we could have our warmest day of 2025 on Thursday with highs in the low 80s. Spotty showers cannot be ruled out Thursday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Let's go to liberal hellhole California. They're going to release a twice deported illegal immigrant with previous felonies who killed 2 American teenagers in 2021. What is going on over there?
You forgot to mention he was drunk while he did it too, Nigel.
Oh, there's that.
Drunk driving crash into 2 teenagers back in 2021. It was a teenage male and his female girlfriend. Their car caught fire. They ended up burning alive. And the scumbag that did this had twice been deported, had multiple felonies, was an illegal immigrant, and now is about to be let out of prison after just a couple of years in California. Now, before we start laughing at this or crying, depending on how you want to look at it, keep in mind what's happening here in Indiana. We've got that revolving door of the justice system.
Sure.
And it's not just Central Indy. Our story from earlier today, and you heard the news report about it earlier, in Howard County, there's a guy that had been charged with murder that's not even going to be going through a court process because the court's backed up with paperwork. They're too busy. There's a staffing crisis.
Understaffed.
So a guy that they believe is a murderer is going to walk free. Same thing's happening in California here. Now, upon hearing this news, the border czar, Tom Homan, he jumped on Fox News today, spoke with Bill Hammer. He was not real happy that California, who only gave this guy a 10-year sentence for killing 2 people.
But he got out. He didn't serve the whole thing.
Oh, no, he only served 2 years. 2 years for killing 2 teenagers while being an illegal immigrant who had been twice deported with multiple felonies. Tom Homan, not real happy. Now, the audio I'm going to play, it was from Fox earlier today. Somebody's running a lawnmower at the White House in the background, so it kind of takes away from the seriousness of what we're talking about here. Try to focus on the words from the border czar.
Well, look, Bill, everybody asks why I get so emotional on network TV, why I get emotional when I testify, because I've met hundreds of angel moms and dads and hear every story. I'll never forget any of those stories. It's just a tragedy. But I'll make this commitment right now. I'll work for Secretary Noem on this case, and I guarantee you, if they don't honor a detainer, we have ICE agents outside that facility to take custody of this individual and deport him. He's been deported several times, which means he's a felon. Re-entry the country at the form of deportation is a felony. We will prosecute him and we will deport him. I'll make that commitment. I'll work with Secretary Noem to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I believe him too. I believe a guy like Tom Homan that's going to do that.
How much of a stern look do you think Tom Homan gave that guy on the lawnmower while he was doing his hit on Fox News about 2 dead American teenagers?
Can you turn the Toro off for just like another 5 minutes, please?
Somebody's got their headset on. They're listening to like their playlist. What? Oh, you're on Fox.
Oh.
Sorry. I mean, it's such a serious topic, and it just kind of ruined the whole interview. But that's what's happening in California.
It's happening all over, and it's happening time and time again. And I think people, obviously, with the election in 2024, are fed up with it. Huge deal, the southern border. And we now see the numbers have plummeted in terms of illegal crossings.
2 years for killing 2 teenagers while drunk with multiple felonies and being an illegal immigrant who had been twice deported. 2 years and he was let out.
Well, where is we need some liberal senator to come visit this person.
Oh, that's right. Where's the Maryland senator? And where's some members of the squad at? Are they going to show up?
Don't worry about the victims or their families. Just make sure the guy that's being let out of prison is taken care of.
Again, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. We haven't done this in a while. Miss Allison, cue up a round of Damn Nature You Scary.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents.
Damn, Nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
And bears being the key word here, Nige.
Okay. No.
Dateline, Connecticut. Connecticut man. He's dealing with some legal stuff after he had to unleash a little gunpowder and lead on a bear that was threatening his family. Now, according to the report, this guy says that he was woken up by his wife in the early morning hours because a bear was near the garage and his kids were sleeping near there and was threatening the kids.
Gee.
So the guy retrieved his gun and he went to go take care of business. And the bear at this point was within feet of his children in the garage. So the guy starts yelling, shooing away a bear, right? Ah!
Hey, get out. Get.
Great moments in shooing away a bear.
Get out of here.
So the bear runs outside. At this point, the family dog is let out. And the family dog, and this is awesome, chases the bear up a tree. So the guy takes his gun. He sees the bear, but at this point, according to the report, the bear is still growling and like swiping down and like flinching and fake rushing at the family.
Man.
So the guy fires a couple warning shots. He just wanted to scare the bear. Fires a couple warning shots in the air, like Joe Biden had taught him to do.
Yeah, right. There's somebody breaking into your house, just to fire a couple of warning shots.
If that bullet falls and lands on a kid, what can you do? Well, it turns out one of those shots hits the bear. The guy did not know he hit the bear. So the bear comes down the tree, runs into the woods. The guy thinks the situation's over.
Okay.
Turns out they found the bear dead of a gunshot wound not too far from the house. And then the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection in Connecticut arrested the dad.
No.
After a neighbor complained about the dead bear in the neighborhood.
No way.
This is a TV report from WFSB in Connecticut.
Todd Topics was awoken by his pregnant wife after a bear came within feet of his two kids. He says the bear grabbed a few bags and was chased up a tree by their dog. When the bear didn't back down, Topics fired a few warning shots and the bear ran into the woods. The next day, he realized he actually shot the bear unintentionally after a neighbor reported the dead bear to police. He was caught in a tough situation between self-defense and breaking the law. Topics was arrested by Connecticut's Department of Energy Environmental Protection 2 weeks later. Some state officials have said Topics was justified in protecting his family, according to a 2023 law that outlines when you're allowed to kill a bear in self-defense.
We were all threatened. It entered our home. And I had no idea why Deep ended up charging me for this.
Deep is not commenting on this situation.
Of course not, because they're embarrassed and they know they're wrong. And this is something that before Elon Musk steps down from Doge should probably take care of. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection in Connecticut.
So if he doesn't fire these warning shots off, what do you think the bear does? Maybe it goes to the Karen neighbor that lives next door that ratted him out and eats her or her husband or her kids.
About that, yeah.
Because a neighbor was the one that ratted him out. This guy shot the bear and it died in our neighborhood. It was going to eat his kids. Unbelievable. You're right. I know Elon doesn't have a lot of time left on the Doge committee, but defund these people 100% immediately. Matt Bear, how are the roads looking?
Crash cleanup continues, Hammer, in Pike Township. Northbound 65 at 71st, blocking the left shoulder. Stop and go traffic to the 465 ramps. Also, northbound 465, it's loaded up from 79 to 865. Southbound 65, still in Pike. Stop and go traffic before 86th Street. Eastbound 465 loaded up from Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Inbound 69 delayed 6 minutes from 106th Street to 82nd. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic for an 8-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn. Going the other way on 65 out of the north split. This is a stall on northbound 65 at West Street. It blocks the right lane. We're slow into the north split. Eastbound 70 jam Tibbs Avenue to the south split. 16-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radio. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So Doug on the YouTube chat weighs in. The problem is he shot the bear after it already went up the tree, not when it was in the garage. He shoots it in the garage, he's probably fine. But if the bear, according to the report, was still growling and snapping and fake lunging down the tree, then is that still considered self-defense?
Well, I was going to say, are bears subject to the same human gun laws there are in this country?
Right, because Guy Relford would tell us,
I know.
If you're the victim of a robbery in a convenience store and the bad guy has got his back and he's running away toward the door, you can't shoot the bad guy because he's leaving. You're no longer in danger. But if a bear's growling and kind of snapping his big claws at me and like making me flinch, then I'm sorry, that bear's going to get shot in the face. Right now, sunshine, 78 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Indy Decorative Concrete did such an awesome job with my front porch and sidewalk. I'm desperate to have them back out to come do some work out in my backyard for a new patio. By the way, spring's right here, and if you are thinking about a new patio, Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. So in other words, if you got some old deck you want to replace it with some custom concrete work or some old cracked concrete, they're going to remove it for free at no cost. But you got to hurry because this offer ends April 30th. Go to IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. You can also go there. I'm sure there are pictures of the work that Indy Decorative Concrete did on my porch and my sidewalk. They turned it into something brand new with even more space and a custom stamped look that changed the look of our front yard forever. Indy Decorative is local. They've been around since 2007. They don't use subcontractors. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Hendricks County.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty
I'm far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! Okay, Hammer, a guy named Mitch.
Mitchapalooza.
Got swallowed by sand at a beach on Lake Michigan last weekend. Is that a thing? You're walking along the beach, you get swallowed by sand?
If I remember right, that happened at Indiana Dunes not that long ago. Like, you know how sometimes the roads like just crash,
yeah.
you know, and they have these sinkholes. Things like that happen, man. It's wild.
But this turned into an unlikely love story. He was walking with his best friend, a coworker named Braun. The beach swallowed him like quicksand, and he was buried up to his waist. So they both called 911 at the exact same time. She referred to him as her boyfriend.
Aww.
And he said his girlfriend was also trying to call. Here are both of them telling the story.
I thought we needed help instantly. He was very good at reassuring that he would get out of there and that he was okay.
The sand was just getting put back almost faster than I could get it out of the way.
To me, those moments were terrifying, honestly, just to see somebody you care about in a situation.
I referred to her as my girlfriend that's trying to call as well. At the exact same time, she got through to another operator and said, my boyfriend is stuck in the sand.
2 years of this guy being my best friend and just trying to hide everything, how I felt, and then he tried to die.
You better be awful confident if you're making that move in that situation. Because if I'm buried up to my nips in sand and it feels like I'm about to be sucked underneath the ground and I say my girlfriend, the last thing I want is for her to be on the phone with 911, turn around. I'm sorry, what? No.
We're just friends.
We're just friends.
The friend zone. We're in the friend zone.
Right. You know, I love you like a brother. That's why I'm calling 911. That's the last thing you want to hear there, right? But let's go back to being sucked underneath the ground. Nigel, I know you have a fear of being mauled by a wild animal when you go out to get the mail. That's one of your fears, and I've accepted that.
Yep.
But
thank you.
I got to be honest. I feel like being sucked underneath the ground with sand would be a worse way to go. Being buried alive than mauled by a tiger.
Well, especially walking along Lake Michigan. It's not like they were in some sort of foreign country, some, beach somewhere.
Right. I mean, there are beaches
like
around, but still, you wouldn't expect that to happen. But again, that happened something similar to Indiana Dunes not that long ago. And as a kid that grew up in the 80s, right? I was a kid in the 80s. It felt like every TV show or movie, quicksand killed somebody. Like as a kid growing up in the 80s, I thought quicksand killed more people than cancer. Everybody died of quicksand in the 80s. And then I got older and found out it really wasn't a thing. I was pissed off.
Are you okay with this? The Ice Bucket Challenge is back, baby.
Oh, is it?
11 years after it went viral to raise money for ALS, some students at the University of South Carolina have recharged the idea, raised awareness for mental health. Here is the host of Today. They did it yesterday, actually.
I'd like to nominate some people. Savannah, Craig, since you did it to me last time, Al Roker, and Carson.
Oh, are you ready to do this?
Well, let's just do the challenge.
In 3, 2, 1. Is that right?
Right here. Yes.
On the set.
Right here. I was told they weren't going to do too much water. Here we go. Jenna, you are a great
That's awesome.
sport.
Way to kick it off.
I accept your nomination.
I accept it as well.
After over a decade, the Ice Bucket Challenge is back. Are you okay with this?
If it raises money for charity, I'm fine with it. I mean, anything you can do to raise money for charity, I get it. I'm fine with it. Now, if I remember correctly, there were some interesting moments in the first run of the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Really?
My favorite was when there was a feud going on between boxer Floyd Mayweather and rapper 50 Cent. Floyd Mayweather had this video where he was trying to read something and he couldn't do it. Not quite sure Floyd Mayweather could read. But then, like in an interview, he ripped 50 Cent out of nowhere. So 50 Cent decided, okay, let's do the Ice Bucket Challenge. And this is what he had to say about Floyd Mayweather.
This is a special challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book,
I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to.
Then he says something about the water that he doesn't need it and had to bleep out a certain word. But if you can read one page out of a Harry Potter book, I'll put $750,000 to the charity of your
I
choice.
think my kid is reading Harry Potter right now, and now that's what they're... Okay, one more here. What's your take on this mom's tearful rant? Oh, my. People are divided over it, Hammer. She took her toddler to a restaurant, and this is what happened when she started walking around the dining room.
I've got a busy toddler, yes. He sits on a chair at home. He'll eat at the table with us. Not perfect, but he'll eat with us. He got off the chair. He went and said hello to the people next to us. They came over to me and they said, could you please put your child in the seat? Well, if you can't sit down the whole time, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Sorry, if he's not going to sit there the whole time, I'm sorry, we can't serve you here. And we left. Now we're in the hotel room. Something like that can just be really upsetting. I said, you obviously are not kid-friendly here.
All right, I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
Sure what just happened. What are you okay with this?
No, shut up, you wanker. Put your kid in the seat. Make your kid behave. You're not the victim because little Johnny Rotten son of a bitch wants to walk around the restaurant and bother other people. No, shut up. Go watch some Benny Hill, whatever it is you people do. No. I'm so worn out by people making excuses for their kids being a bother in public places. Like, you see it at family fun parks. Like, here's a great example. Back when I was in high school and I worked at Great Times in Beech Grove, people would just drop off their kids there, and you think, okay, kids can play. But the kids were rotten. These kids were no good, rotten SOBs. And these parents or guardians, whoever they are, they expect the workers and other people to parent and watch over their kids.
Old school Circle Center Mall, which is basically shut down now.
100%.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got kicked out of that Chuck E. Cheese once.
Right.
There was a kid that was being gross and mean and wiping snot and boogers all over people and pushing kids. So I told the young man, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. And his drunk white trash parents who were sitting across from me at the table drinking pitchers of beer, they tried to get mouthy with me, and that didn't work. I had to deliver a little Beech Grove justice, and because of that, I can't go back to the Greenwood Chuck E. Cheese anymore.
Got to draw the line at boogers.
Tony Kennett's coming up next.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The new state budget may encourage you to stop smoking. Some clouds still around, even though the forecast promised clear skies this afternoon. You do have a clear night ahead with the next chance for rain likely Friday. It's 77 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The state budget for the next 2 years that was announced this afternoon in last-minute negotiations as the General Assembly gets ready to wrap up the legislative session includes a $2 cigarette tax per pack.
I think that's going to have a huge benefit for the Medicaid costs going forward. So obviously we want to make sure that we make a dent in the cost of Medicaid.
That's Senate President pro tempore Rod Bray.
In 2023, it grew as a percentage of our budget by 3%. This year, again, it grew by 3%.
All tobacco products will have extra taxes attached. The new budget protects Medicaid, also K-12 public education, the promised income tax reductions, and school vouchers. Meanwhile, here's how the markets did today if you have a 401k or retirement investments.
The Dow winners today, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, and Microsoft. The Dow decliners, Procter & Gamble, Amgen, and Travelers. The Dow rising 420 points. The Nasdaq higher by 408. S&P 500 up 88. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
There are talks that expecting mothers may soon be receiving federal payouts. Fox's Alexandria Hoff from Washington.
One proposal reportedly brought to the White House was to give new mothers $5,000 after delivery, and the president said yesterday he's a fan. The New York Times reports that the White House is considering several proposals to help combat a declining birth rate. Other ideas reportedly include an education initiative to help women better understand when they are ovulating, and reserving 30% of Fulbright program scholarships for applicants who are parents or married. According to data released by the CDC, the number of births in 2024 increased just 1% from a record-setting low the year prior. The average rate of decline since 2007 has been 4% annually. Fewer babies being born is overwhelmingly viewed as detrimental to a country's economic future ability to care for an aging population and even national security.
Traffic on 93 WIBC. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Chris, checking out Pike Township, and crash cleanup continues on northbound 65 at West 71st Street. Left shoulder block, traffic stop and go to 465, delayed 10 minutes. Northbound 65 heading out of the north split. This is a stall blocking the right lane at West Street that has us backed up to rural. Eastbound 70 loaded up from Tibbs Avenue into the south split. That's a 15-minute delay. South side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from I-69 over to I-65. A crash on the southeast side, Arlington Avenue at Brookville Road. Crash downtown 16th to the west of MLK. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here. It's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A mostly clear Wednesday night is ahead with lows in the mid-50s. Then we could have our warmest day of 2025 on Thursday with highs in the low 80s. Spotty showers cannot be ruled out Thursday afternoon and night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special in-studio guest this time.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Tony Kennett. Tony Kennett is here in studio. How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic for a guy that did not kill the Pope.
I swear, you know what? I was thinking the Pope has traveled more dead than I have alive. Does that make sense?
He's making a world tour.
He's been to more places in the past couple of days deceased than I have in my entire life.
Okay, but did you guys see one of the cardinals that is possible to replace him is literally like Para Mezza Pizza Balla? That's his name. It's the Italian chant.
Plus 1,200 on the European betting markets.
Which is a shame because I really want that Cardinal Sarah from Guinea, the only black cardinal up for consideration. He is incredible. He's like Clarence Thomas in Catholic robes.
There is another one, though, and I know this because we talked about the betting ramifications of this. There is another one from Africa who is an African American, but he is also very over-the-top leftist, like even more so than
this guy,
even more so than the woke Pope. Yes,
which is a shame because Cardinal Sarah coming out, and again, I'm a Baptist. You know, no one looks at me for Catholic opinions here, but watching a guy come out and say, trying to justify mass immigration on some bad reading of the Bible is poison. Like, oh yes, make this man Pope now.
Pizza balla. I'm here for that. 100%. Hey, let's start a little local, and then we'll kind of do some national stuff here.
You got it.
Because I always like to talk education with you, because I know that's how you basically made your name as somebody that's worked in the education system here in Central Indy for a long time. Nigel and I talked about this Brownsburg update yesterday. Right. This was in regards to the staff members that were forcing a very special needs student to eat their own vomit.
Right.
He was picked up on the video cameras. There was a trial. There was a conviction. The main woman, who I guess was the key figure in all of this, the one that was busted on the camera, will not serve hardly any jail time, Tony, just 2 days. Now, I get there was probably some sort of back alley plea deal that they're not allowed to talk about, but is that justice when that woman does not serve jail time that is significant?
Well, she did have to give up her teacher's license. Hammer.
Oh, well.
Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, that's bare minimum. I mean, I don't even think that we should even have to get into, the settlement side of things. I have two key issues with education right now, as you guys know. Number one is that every school district has these massive legal budgets. And what this, involves is your tax dollars. We're talking about high property taxes right now in the state. They go to your local school district being able to afford the fanciest, pansiest lawyers so that they can fend off lawsuits when certain people do really stupid, gross stuff like this. And the reason that matters, and the reason that's germane to this story, is you do get a lot of backroom deals in the modern American political system because the court case starts and it gets really expensive really fast. And so their lawyers pony up to your lawyers, you settle out of court or you work some kind of backroom plea deal with someone one of the legal teams knows, and justice isn't served. I'm sorry, if you feed a life skills student, that's what we call someone with that's very heavy on the spectrum in the special needs situation, if you feed a life skills kid his own vomit I'm sorry, you should be serving at least 10 years in prison. There are some, I'm tired of these mamby-pamby community service, and you pay a little bit here. And
But you know how
anymore.
it is here, specifically in Marion County, Tony. People murder people, and you're lucky if they spend 10 years in the joint.
I mean, it's true. I guess that we're lucky she didn't run for county prosecutor.
Right. I mean, that's kind of where we're at with this justice system. But the question always becomes, what would your family do? And every family is different, right? Does $1 million, maybe even more, mean more to you, or seeing that woman that had that heinous act on your special needs child go to prison mean more to you? You know,
I'm going to level with you, man. I don't think that it's necessarily a good idea to say what my father, Mike Kennett of Middletown, the rough and tough man I admire so much, would have done had he found out someone had fed his kid vomit.
Yeah.
And I think that it's an insult to a lot of Hoosiers who have those kind of feelings in the back of their head to watch someone get off not scot-free, but scot-adjacent here with a little bit of a lesser trial than something for, again, feeding a special needs student his own vomit.
And this isn't over because, again, we talked about this yesterday. If everything lines up the way we think it's going to, they could still reach a plea deal, but it sounds like there's some pretty bad blood between the fired superintendent at Brownsburg, who he feels like the school made him the scapegoat for all of this. He's now, what it looks like, planning to sue the bejesus out of the Brownsburg School Corp. And if that's the case,
which he should,
he's going to burn that thing down. He's going to name names.
Unless, like you said, there's a settlement.
Unless there's a settlement.
Well, yeah, there will be a lawsuit and there will be a settlement. So, Tony, future prediction mode, because it just so happens that Hammer and Nigel is where I make all of my correct predictions. He's going to sue, and it's going to be a large settlement.
Because that discovery process, let's just play along with me here. Let's say there's such bad blood, there's no settlement. And this superintendent's like, I'm going to burn it down. We're going to court. The discovery of what went on here is going to be some really eye-opening stuff.
So for those listening, and especially those in the education system, you will know that there are some teachers among us who believe that because they send emails on the school server, that doesn't mean anyone else can look at them. They think that their privacy extends into the classroom, that no one else has any say, no one can look at anything. If you're on the taxpayer dollar, every bit of communication you send on school property and through school means is subject to search without a lawsuit. That's just how the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act works in FOIA. So when you look at this major possible lawsuit coming in where people are trying to throw individuals under the bus, a lot of those communications in backdoor situations probably took place on school servers because people, as a general rule, are not smart when it comes to conspiracy. They're bad at it. So that's going to break in the public, and it's going to be entertaining at the very least.
Are you paying attention to what's going on in the Supreme Court right now in terms of choice about pulling your kids out of certain aspects?
The most diverse group of plaintiffs of all time. You've got Muslims.
Explain what's going on, right?
Yeah, so there's a group from Montgomery County, Mississippi, who are suing the school district because the elementary school required LGBTQ plus whatever books to be taught to students. So it's not that these were just on the classroom shelves. These were part of the lesson plan. Parents, again, Jewish parents, Muslim parents, Christian parents, Ukrainian Orthodox parents, sued the school district and said, no, it goes against our religious beliefs. You can't force the kids to read that. So they're arguing it on the Supreme Court. Ketanji Brown Jackson, you know, the justice who doesn't know what a woman is.
I'm sorry, I believe her name is Ketanji Brown Jackson, as Joe Biden once said.
And wiser words were never spoken. So she's arguing really embarrassingly. She doesn't even look like she's read the brief. She's like, well, how do we even know that your clients were in the classroom? It's like, well, it's a preschool and the kids are probably in there doing the work. I mean, we're not representing Casper over here. It's really weird to see, but it looks like the conservative majority this one's probably going to go in favor of the parents.
Let's shift gears to big picture of what's happening with the Democrats right now. How many I Support David Hogg t-shirts have you purchased in the last 7 days, Tony Kennett?
I'm so excited for David Hogg as the vice chair of the DNC. I have always been excited with the way the DNC does their voting process. We need one black person. We need one person with one half a leg whose grandmother
they want
was
the
gay.
bus from Speed.
Right.
They want the passengers that were on the bus in the movie Speed. Full Indian in a headdress. There's an Eskimo with a harpoon.
That's just a Village People album. So they elected David Hogg because he's young. He gets out there and he says, you know what we need to do? Spend $20 million going after incumbents. So they're just going after, they're killing off all the elderly Democrats. And that's so funny because that was their move, right? They got in there, they did their shivving and their backstabbing, and all of a sudden the youths they brought in are doing the same thing. You got Elizabeth Warren getting thrown under the bus. David Hogg saying on the Sunday special for ABC, I think it's called This Week, that Kilmer Alberto Garcia, he was not a member from MS-13. There's no evidence that he's a member of MS-13.
Oh.
It's brutally embarrassing for the Democrats.
Right.
Yeah.
MS-13 has become the next part of their alphabet soup, right? LGBTQIA MS-13.
It's the first fentanyl stripe we've ever seen on the flag. I'm quite excited for them.
But listen, we can sit here and laugh about some of these lunatics on the left, but I think we all put AOC in that category. She is a fundraising machine, Tony, and even though when she speaks, people tend to laugh at the content, she's the one Democrat right now that can go on the road, pack a crowd, and put six figures in the donation box.
So I think right now everyone is simultaneously overestimating her and underestimating her. And if that sounds like a paradox, it's in different categories. So they underestimate the willingness of a party to elevate someone who everyone else doesn't like. We saw that with Trump in 2016. You pointed that out. And now AOC is coming forward. She can talk, she can rally, she can be angry, and they think that is enough. That is, in fact, enough to push her to the nomination. Here's the problem. Peel all that away, she's still AOC. She hasn't gotten smarter. She may have gotten a little more streetwise on what to say and what not to say. She still doesn't know how many branches of government we have. She still doesn't know what laws and regulations are. She has no idea what the history of this country is. You put that on stage with J.D. Vance.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. Could you imagine that debate? AOC across from J.D. Vance, or let's say that it's not J.D. Vance. Let's say it's DeSantis. Any one of those two. AOC is in a world of hurt.
I'll say this. I don't know what strings I'm going to have to pull. I don't know who I'm going to have to impersonate. I will be in the crowd for that debate with a big bucket of popcorn.
Come back for one more segment.
You got it.
Chatting with Tony Kennett, host of the Tony Kennett Cast. He's coming right back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There sure are a lot of memories in that house. It's where you celebrated years of anniversaries and birthdays, where you watched the kids grow, where you relaxed in your retirement. You love it right down to the scuff on the dining room floor and that sticky window in the bedroom. But now the stairs are getting harder, the lawn, the cleaning, the repairs, it's just too much to keep up. And you know it's probably time to downsize. But the thought of getting the house ready to sell is overwhelming. It's time to learn about Simple Quarters. They'll buy your house as is. No repairs, no worries. They handle everything. You take what you want and you leave the rest. They're a Christian company, so they understand the emotional ties, and they'll be respectful of your memories and feelings as they help you simplify your life. If you're considering downsizing and want a hassle-free way to sell your home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME, or go to simplequarters.com.
Hey, when it comes to your furnace, your AC, you don't want to mess around. American Standard Heating and Cooling, built to a higher standard. I am a longtime customer. You should be too. So here, my man Hammer to tell you about one of those local, awesome, independent American Standard retailers.
Price Point Comfort, your locally owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer that will give you the right price guarantee. I like that word, guarantee. They promise not to oversell or pressure you into buying a bunch of stuff you don't need. A lot of companies do that. They don't do that at Price Point. You get exactly what you're looking for. They could make some recommendations, but it's totally up to you. Price Point Comfort strives for customer satisfaction, so find them online, pricepointcomfort.com. That's pricepointcomfort.com, or give them a call, 317-455-1124. You can ask for James or Tyler. James or Tyler at Price Point Comfort. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Price Point Comfort, your independent American Standard heating and air dealer built to a higher standard.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
This is Danny Reinhardt with Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Give us a call for any of your heating and cooling needs. We're here to serve you. 317-745-4526.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard Air dealer.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, here it is. Fresh hell up in Pike Township. Another crash on I-65. This one goes southbound 65 after 865 to Dogleg right now. We just shut it down. 2 lanes were blocked, both of the lanes, and now the entire interstate is closed. We have a car knocked sideways, a van on the guardrail, and a truck pulling a trailer out in the grassy median right now, so expect cleanup to take a minute. Traffic is jammed past the 865 interchange on the northwest side of Boone County and almost back to Whitestown Parkway. We are not there yet. Prepare to reroute. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split for a 9-minute delay. Crash downtown Ohio at East. Somebody got hit by a car. Southbound 65, a 6-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Pad. And crash cleanup continues. Back in the Pike, northbound 65 at 71st, left shoulder slow to West 56th. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Spring's here, and it's time for a new patio. Indy Decorative Concrete is offering free demolition. Offer ends April 30th. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
78 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
All right, we're back. Tony Kinnett Cast, weeknights after the Hammer and Nigel show, 7 o'clock, 93 WIBC. That clip, you mentioned it before in our first segment about Elizabeth Warren sitting down with some young liberal podcaster, and he was confronting her about her statements about how Joe Biden was mentally, he was very sharp as a tack. And her response was basically like, yeah, when I was around him, he could stand, he could speak. And
he could dance a jig and like, do complex math.
And this guy's response was that does not mean he's well. Basically, no. Am I paraphrasing here? Am I getting that right?
No. So what the guy actually said is, you said he could stand, he could speak, and then she immediately goes, "Well, that was my truth." She did the Oprah line, that's what I believed at the time, and essentially he broke her down by just going, "Come on." Come on. Yeah. We're not stupid. And so she broke down to the point where she started talking over herself. And I've wondered this for ages. I've now that I'm getting into the political world more, there are all these PR firms and strategy firms. And I'm wondering if there's the same bargain bin political strategy group that taught all of the Democrats that when you're a deer in the headlights, right, you've screwed up, you've been caught. You just say the word look over and over. Biden, you go, "Our lasagna." Look. He'd like bring it back in, like Zen focus. He'd like take a drag of the Marlboro. Look. You had Elizabeth doing the same thing. So Elizabeth starts this interview feeling really confident. By the end, she looks as forlorn and broken down as Joe Biden's going, look, please, let this be over.
But your point was there's a bigger strategy here with the younger Democrats in general to throw these olds under the bus.
We've seen that movie trope so many times, haven't we? The old guy comes in who trains the young rogue and goes, never trust anyone, kid. And then the kid ends up betraying him, and the guy doesn't know whether to be proud or feel betrayed.
It's the Darth Vader story, right? I mean, it's kind of how we got Darth Vader. Obi-Wan trains him. Darth Vader cuts him in half with a lightsaber. That's what's happening with the Dems right now.
It really is ironic to see the Emperor Palpatines, who do look like Emperor Palpatine, use your liberal feelings, boy, raise up Darth Vader, and then when they're getting thrown down the elevator shaft, they're like, wait a minute, did I do this?
And Hammer, what were the odds for the Democrats and their nominee?
So looking at the overseas odds, because again, I was looking at the Pope odds in the offshore accounts, and I also looked at the 2028 U.S. president futures. Democrat frontrunners, believe it or not, Kamala Harris still there. AOC is on the move. Gavin Newsom still there.
Bernie?
Have money, will travel. Bernie still
could be the
there.
next Pope. I think Bernie's got an outside shot at the papacy.
I still think it's Biden because of the mail-in ballots that the Cardinals are going to send in. The massive unaccounted mail-in ballots from the conclave.
We're now prepared to Maricopa County for Cardinal Pizzaballa.
What's coming up on the Tony Kennett cast tonight?
I know everyone really loves talking about student loans and red dye 40s, so that's what we're going to talk about. Woo!
Damn right. I got your red dye right here. He is one of the best, man. The smartest dude in every room he's in. Tony Kennett, have a great show tonight.
Your check's in the mail.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Spring selling season is here. Rate activity is up. Now is the best time in years to sell your home. However, some homes are sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize equity and minimize hassle is the key. That expert agent I recommend to sell your home is Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried with a challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Andrew in downtown Noblesville had to say about working with Mark Dietl. Recently retired, our goal was to sell our home of 30 years, buy an RV, and spend summers traveling to Montana and winters in Arizona. Mark Dietl's team made it happen fast. We went under contract in 3 days, over asking price with no contingencies. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. Construction has begun on a $60 million expansion project that will bring more laboratory and research space to the Science and Engineering Lab building at Indiana University, Indianapolis. The 52,000 square foot addition near North Blackford and West New York streets will feature state-of-the-art laboratory and research space, as well as a 3D bioprinter lab and support for development of wearable devices and sensors, as well as health monitoring systems. IU Indy's Vice Chancellor for Research, Phaedra Corso, said the project got funding last year and construction should finish in the summer of 2026.
I think it's one of the first interdisciplinary research spaces we have here at IU Indianapolis. It's going to have arts and humanities. It's going to have chemistry and biology. And so that's pretty exciting when you bring faculty from different disciplines and put them all in one space.
When it opens, the building will be home to the Convergent Bioscience and Technology Institute and the Institute for Human Health and Well-Being. Both initiatives are part of a larger $250 million investment focused on establishing the university as a leader in bioscience innovation. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with